Day one of PAX West 2022 is in the books. We had a great time, and one of the games that we went to look at was actually a game from Nightdive Studios, and we talked to Larry Cooperman, the Director of Business Development, about their upcoming game, System Shock, the remake. It is a full rebuild of the original game, not a reimagining, not a change, but also not a sort of a opt assets type of game. They rebuild everything from scratch, but it became a duplicate of the original game. So we had an interview with Larry, we talked about the game, we tried the demo, and the interview is right here for you to see, and make up your own mind to see what you think of the game. In our opinion, it looks pretty good, and I would say it's almost more cyberpunk than cyberpunk. But have a look for yourself and listen what Nightdive Studios has to tell us.
And give the drone a second, it's going to zoom in on you.
That's a long opening. Oh, there you go. Blade Runner.
And now you're going to have, we do that one too.
One of my favorites.
And now it's going to shift perspective. Now you're playing as the hacker. You can interact with certain objects in this room. Again, we wanted this in place of a tutorial, so you can turn on the water in the sink, for example. There is a bathroom, and you can flush the toilet in there.
That's good. We need flushable toilets in every game.
It's one of the jokes that when we play a lot of games, if there's a bathroom, we go to check to see if you can flush the toilet.
It's the bathroom version of Can You Pet the Dog?
Absolutely.
Outstanding. I love it.
We're checking out here the complete remake of System Shock over here at PAX West. No, you mentioned it's a complete rebuild, right?
That's correct.
So how would you go about that? Do you have like the original game you played? Do you have a source code?
So
Like,
every
how
one
do
of
we go
our
about that?
every one of our team members played the original game exhaustively. We also did find the previously lost source code for the game, but we're fortunate at Nightdive that we're in a unique position because we're the publisher also of the original version of System Shock, the Enhanced Edition, as well as System Shock 2.
Okay. And
So all of our developers have been immersed in the System Shock universe.
they're very well familiar with every single bit of the game and the.
I will
lore.
also give a shout out to our producer, Daniel Gratian, who is the guru, the mastermind behind System Shock. He knows every aspect of the game. I'll also show you this, one of my favorite sequences. 6 years of development later, I still find that funny as hell. Okay, having that happen, the next sequence is going to be the Edward Diego sequence. We'll give you the background of what happens.
So have there been any particular challenges with making this, in a new era that seemed normal at the time, perhaps, or maybe kind of hacky?
The original game didn't have support for things that are now, of course, commonplace, like mouse look. It was all keyboard based. There were a number of crouch and lean keys. Very, very difficult combination of things. Again, because we're the publisher of that game. Our Enhanced Edition already has a more modern, more accessible user interface. But we wanted to appeal to two distinct bodies here of players. The old school players who are going to look particularly at the art style and say, yes, this is the way I remember the game looking. By the way, that's your first glimpse of Shodan on screen. So the old school players, but we also wanted, for the younger generation or the newer generation to be able to just sit down and pick up the game immediately, and we think we've achieved that. I've been working with consumers both here and at Gamescom, and as people get done, I ask them the same question over and over again: did you have fun?
Right.
Yes. And the answer has been resoundingly yes. Things that your fans should be aware of: the game is by intent hard. You are going to fail a lot. You're going to have things that you don't know how to do. I anticipate that a week or 2 weeks after the game is released, that there's going to be a long Reddit telling people how to find things.
That's all. You used to have guidebooks.
That's all. That's all good. We're quite happy with that. Older games expected you to really work to win the game. The consequence of that is that when you finally get to the final boss battle, when you finally beat Shodan, your feeling of victory is really something that you had to work hard to achieve, and it's all the more valuable because of that.
We'll have quick save.
We'll not have quick save, but you can save by key periodically.
Okay.
Is it a location-based save, or is it a save anywhere?
Save anywhere.
I've done it many years, many games. Quick save, quick save.
Right.
Oh no, I overwrote my save.
Right.
All right. So you said you want to make it feel like people remember it, and that is probably why certain art decisions are made. Have you thought about at any point to maybe make it even more modern and decided against it? Or was that always the vision from the start?
It was always the vision from the start. I mean, all Nightdive does, our company is completely devoted to bringing back the lost classics. That's the motivation behind the name Nightdive, behind our iconic undersea diver, things that were lost from the depths. So the hard part is to preserve all the things that made the original game so iconic, and yet make it accessible to today's players. And judging by the consumer response here, I think we've achieved that.
Excellent. Excellent. Push the button.
I am pushing the button.
You may need to go back to the room, and you may not have gotten everything. You got the stuff out of the briefcase?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Briefcase, shelf.
All right.
I think she's just talking on the top of it.
Yep.
Looks like there's health. Oh, we got a certain amount of time in here too.
Yep. It's hard. I will let you guys know that you have made it further than anybody else today.
And there you have it. Those were our impressions of System Shock the Remake. To us, it looked very good. It was a blast to play. It was a great interview as well, as you could tell. And we're looking forward to this game. How about you? Is there anything about this that excites you, or do you have any questions? Feel free to have a discussion in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Geeks vs. Geeks.